Many people will tell you to start with why. I say start with who. Because if you don't know who you are, you will never know why you are here, and you will most certainly not know what to do with your life. So before you go looking into why, take a step back from it all. Detach emotionally from it all and press into the who you are created to be by God, the grand creator of all. Because when you know who you are, you will know why you're here, and you will know what to do with your life. Too many people go through their entire life completely wasting the gifts they have been given of all of the possibilities to bless other people, all of the opportunities to overcome the obstacles, and all of the chances to thrive through what might seem like insurmountable circumstances, so that they can actually fulfill their purpose in life of solving their own pain and then be capable of giving that pain to others. You guys hear me say this all the time. When you know who you are, you know why you're here, and you know what to do. Therefore, if you know who you are and you know why you're here and you're not doing what you need to do, that means that maybe you don't really truly know who you are or why you're here. Because at the core of our decisions, at the core of everything that we choose to believe and then take action to become in life, is based on our identity. Who are you? Who exactly are you? And also, identity is the number one place that every human being is attacked in and has been attacked in. This number one place since the beginning of time. Proof of concept, proof of what I'm talking about. Take a look at Scripture. For myself, I tune in to Scripture as the foundational universal truth in my life. That's what I choose to believe. You're free to believe whatever you want to believe. I choose to turn to Scripture, which talks about that in the Garden of Eden, that Satan approached Eve and tried to convince her that she would be like God if she ate the forbidden fruit, which was attacking her in her identity, causing her to persuade her to believe in separation, that she was separate from God, that she already wasn't like God, even though she was like God, which then caused her to eat something she should have never eaten. How does this translate to the modern world? Well, most of the modern world is terribly obese. So many people nowadays are so unhealthy and so terribly overweight. Why? Because they are eating forbidden foods. They're eating things that they should never be eating in the first place, mostly known as ultra-processed food-like substance. People are attacking their identity, which is causing them to have comfort-seeking mechanisms of consuming and eating food, and then they're turning to the food, and then they're getting addicted to the consumption of the food, and because of that, they're getting terribly unhealthy and overweight, and then they're having all these health problems. And here's what's interesting to me. Also in Scripture, I want to say it's somewhere in Corinthians or 2 Corinthians, it's talking about that any man who defiles the holy temple, God will punish. That means any man or woman that's defiling the holy temple, God will punish. So if I'm experiencing health ailments, is that punishment? I don't know, possibly. What have I been doing or not doing in my life that's led me into the patterns where that is a thing now? Time to have some self-awareness, self-assessment, and self-discovery to take a look at what are driving the actions. When we are not in alignment with when we are not in awareness, acceptance, and alignment with our heavenly identity, we will live like fools here on earth. We will squander all sorts of time. We will miss out on all types of opportunities to bless people, and we will not fulfill our potential, and we will have foregone the possibility to be one of the chosen ones that actually lived in accordance with God's plans for their life and actually fulfilled their full potential and actually manifested the mind, body, and soul of Christ in the way that their actions, thoughts, and energy were exuded every single day in every way. You guys, we have got to press into our identity. who we truly are. And when we know who we truly are, we understand why we're here, which drives our actions, our thoughts, and our energy, our behaviors. All of it gets driven from who we are. And when we are not in alignment with that identity, things will get really weird, really hectic, really difficult. God is calling us up in our identity. That's what accountability is calling others up in their identity, not out on their behavior. So how can we be more accountable? How can we be more accountable to self? How can we be more accountable to God and to the calling that's on our life? How can we be most loyal to our first commitment, which is to love God above all else and then love our neighbor as ourselves? What does that mean? That means that we must have self-love. And self-love is a verb. Love is a verb, guys. We love ourselves in the way we choose to think about self, talk to self, act, behave, the energies that we resonate. Anything that we choose to do becomes who we are, because who we are drives what we do. So it's an endless feedback loop of who you are, which drives what you do, which drives who you are, which drives what you do. So I want to challenge you right now today. What do you need to be doing that you haven't been doing? What is it that you know that your conscience has been telling you you need to do and you have not been doing? Whatever that thing is, cut this video off right now and go do that thing. Take the next 60 minutes and go all out on doing that one thing, and just go absolutely as hard as you can for that hour and make as much progress as possible. And then when you're done with that hour, I want you to do a little self-reflection. I want you to think about how you were talking to yourself during that hour of work, what the feelings and emotions were that you generated during the hour, as well as the feelings and emotions you generated after having completed the hour of work and making progress on your life and your goals and your mission. And then I want you to remember how that feels. And I want you to begin to train your system to seek out those feelings. Because when we program ourselves to seek the process and validate on the process, outcomes will always happen, and we will maintain the high rate of growth, the high rate of success, because we validate on the process, not the outcome. I love you guys. I know you know who you are, and I know that you are in awareness, acceptance, and alignment with that reality of why you're here. Now get on to doing what you need to do. I love you guys, and always shine brighter.